Me gusta leer. I like to read. Today, we are going to talk about reading. We are going to talk about reading. This video is going to be the level intermediate level. That means that I'm not going to draw. I'm not going to show you pictures, drawings. What I am going to do is speak slow. I'm going to speak slowly, so that you can hear and understand what I say. I'm going to speak slow so that you can understand. Okay? Ready? Let's talk about books. I like to read books about learning languages, aprendiendo los idiomas. I like to read about learning languages. I also like to read in other languages. I love to read books that are written in Spanish for people who speak Spanish like you. This was a very good book. This, Don Quixote, this one is still a little bit too hard for me to read. But one day I will read Don Quixote. This is a book written for people who want to learn how to speak French. I cannot speak French. I cannot read French. But one day, I will. One day, I want to learn how to read and speak in French. And I will. I also like to read about history. About things that happened a long time ago. I like to read about history, things that happened in the past. I am American, so I like to read about American history. Abraham Lincoln, old presidents, Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Jackson. I like to read about American history, things that happened in America in the past. I like to read about American wars, things that happened in the past. I like to read American history. I also like to read books written by people who have done great things. People who have done great things, who have done good things, who have achieved good things. This book is written by a man named David Goggins. David Goggins is what we call a bad motherfucker. David Goggins is a bad motherfucker, okay? Excuse my my bad language, but you need to learn these things as well, right? David Goggins, this is a book written by and about a bad motherfucker. This type of book is called an autobiography. An autobiography is when somebody writes a book. David Goggins wrote this book about themselves. David Goggins wrote this book about his own life. I like to read books about adventures, about journeys, adventures, travels. This is a book written by Jules Verne, Journey to the Center of the Earth. I like this book a lot. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is also written by Jules Verne. I also like this book a lot. I think Jules Verne, his books are great. They're fun to read. This is a series of books. It's not just one book. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 books. 4 books about the same story. The author wrote so much that he couldn't fit it all into one book. So he made a series of books. These are The Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings is a trilogy. A trilogy means that there are 3 books. 3 books about the same story. 3 books, 1 story. The Lord of the Rings is a trilogy. I love The Lord of the Rings. Because I love The Lord of the Rings, do you think that I'm a nerd? Do you think that I am a nerd because I love to read Lord of the Rings? Do you? I don't. I think that they are awesome, but maybe you think that I am a nerd. Oh well. Another author that I like a lot, Dean Koontz. I like to read books written by Dean Koontz. Books written by Dean Koontz, the author, these books are scary. Dean Koontz writes scary stories. They're scary, yeah, but I like them. I have read probably 30 of Dean Koontz books. I like to read books written by Dean Koontz. This is a book that I have. I have this book, but I have not read this book because I speak English. I don't know what language this is, but it doesn't sound like English to me. You tell me, does this sound like English? A damn defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain, breaks my pate across, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the left throat? What the fuck does that mean? Now, I want to tell you about my favorite book. My favorite book. The book that I like the most out of all these books. Out of all these books, I want to tell you about the one that I like the most. Which one is it gonna be? Is it The Odyssey? Is it Dracula? Is it Treasure Island? No. The Count of Monte Cristo. The Count of Monte Cristo was written by Alexandre Dumas. Alexandre Dumas is French. But I have The Count of Monte Cristo written in English because I cannot read in French yet. This book is about a man named Edmond Dantes. Edmond Dantes has a beautiful woman named Mercedes. And his best friend, the best friend of Edmond Dantes, his mejor amigo, steals Mercedes. He steals Mercedes and he gets Edmond arrested. Would you do that to your best friend? I wouldn't. Would you? So then after that, Edmund has to escape. He has to escape from the prison that he's in. And when he escapes, what do you think he does? What would you do to the person you thought was your best friend, and then that person steals your girl? Your best friend steals your girl. He steals the woman that you love, and he lies about you and gets you put in jail. What would you do if you escaped? Would you fight him? Would you fight your best friend? Would you kill him? What would you do? You can read this book and see what Edmund would do. This book is about revenge. Revenge. And this is my favorite book. My favorite book ever. Out of all these books, I like this one the most. Muchas gracias por ver, por escucharme hablar de libros. Hasta la próxima. Nos vemos. Adiós.